Welcome to another episode of Baz Codes. I'm your host. Today, I'm going to go over some improvements and progress on the GSSquared emulator. I know this is your favorite topic, other than, my stock tips. Anyway, as you can see, there's an Apple IIe button here now in the emulator. When the emulator starts, it gives you a choice of your retro experience. I couldn't think of a better term. Let me know if you have a better thing to put there. I think it's kind of fun. You can, boot into that original Apple II, dumps you straight into the raw monitor. We went over that in a previous video. Apple II Plus, which is what I've been working on throughout the development of GSSquared, and Apple IIe, which is the new one. So I want to give a shout out to the following folks who were incredibly helpful in answering my questions about the Apple IIe. Of course, I have all these reference materials available, but sometimes it's a lot more efficient just to ask the hive mind. And so Scott Elliott, Jimmy Mensch, Antoine Vino, and Matt Jenkins, thank you so much for your help on this. I'll call this 98% done. There's a few odds and ends I still have to dump in here, but let's take a look. Oh, of course it does that on the demo. Let's pretend that isn't there. Oh dear. Okay, that's one of the little odds and ends I need to wrap up. So here we are. We've got the hash mark, blinky cursor, lowercase letters. That's a big improvement. Of course, the Apple II little title thing is also in lowercase. And so the first thing to show off here, of course, is 80-column text. Oh, let's put that into monochrome to give it the proper look and feel. So we've got that. That's working pretty well. Let's see. Okay. It always drove me nuts that the delete key on the Apple II keyboard didn't actually delete. It just gave you the... well, anyway. Maybe I could hack the ROM and fix that once and for all. There we go. Apple II Forever. Got some fabulous 80-column text there. So of course the biggest part of the Apple IIe that's different from the previous Apple II Plus is 128K memory, as well as the display modes, which are allowed or enabled by the additional memory. You have the whole 64K address space can be bank switched over to auxiliary memory. So we've got, of course, this is something a lot of people actually did a lot back in the day. AppleWorks. This was a pretty sophisticated application for the day, and it predated integrated application suites from everybody. I think this was the first. Correct me if I'm wrong. Make a comment down below if you know of an integrated application suite like this that predated AppleWorks. Apple II forever. Oops. Okay, well, delete does work, of course, in programs that were looking for the delete key, which I guess was the point of having it work that way. Sweet. Okay, so we've got that. I can create a spreadsheet from scratch. Money. is there. That's my simple spreadsheet. I'm sure some of you can sympathize with me on that one. Let's see. Maybe I can get rid of this. Oh, that is doing all kinds of weird stuff. All right, well, let's just proceed. Again, pretend that that's not there. So we've got that. Scott Elliott wrote or had this lovely little program that was incredibly helpful for testing double low res. So let's take a look at that. And let's switch back to NTSC. And oh no, I didn't save my files. I'm in trouble. Dog ate my homework. Let's see. Let's go to basic. And of course, DOS commands you can type in lowercase, but AppleSoft you can't. I think not until the enhanced Apple IIe, perhaps. So turn on the old caps lock. Okay. So this was a handy program. It's just generating a bunch of sort of quasi. It's not random, but it's a pattern. You can see we're filling in here. Because of the NTSC artifacting, each of these low-res blocks are not really quite the same size. That's just how it is. I would be curious to try one of the recent double low-resolution games on here. Now I do have, in here, I also have a new RGB implementation that I'm toying with. RGB, kind of a, a nebulous term here. What does it mean? Well, there were a lot of RGB solutions for the Apple II. There was Video 7. Apple had a similar product. Then, of course, there's the Apple II GS. I only have examples from the Apple II GS since I have one here. But a contributor turned me on to a patent that Apple was granted in 87 or 88. And the contents of the patent sound an awful lot like the Apple II GS RGB implementation, how it converts the old Apple II video modes to the GS RGB output. So I took a stab at implementing the algorithm in that patent, and this is the results. Now that's interesting. And I actually haven't compared this yet to my Apple II GS. I need to get a disk drive on there that works. But you can see the lines are crisp. There's still, some of these blocks are not the same size. I certainly could code this so they're all exactly the same size, but I'm not sure that's actually how these things looked, right? So this is still a work in progress. It is, it's got a few bugs in it still, but I like the direction it's going. And I might actually pull up a high-res game here in a little bit and show you what some stuff looks like there. So this is double low res. And then, of course, this is the really exciting stuff here. Let's go to double high res. Okay, just please wait. So what are you all doing today? Oh, this, in case you're wondering, this disk 2 emulation has been accelerated using a technique I borrowed from Chris Torrance and his Apple II TS emulator. It seems to work really well and doesn't have any weird side effects. Okay, now I have no idea how to play this game, but as you can see, we have appropriate double high-res goodness here. Ah! Okay, yeah, what's going on? All right. Okay, it seems like I just pushed the button and lightning strikes out in every direction. Get away, get away. Okay. Uh, this looks like it should have been a big deal back in the day. It's actually pretty good, and I am not good at it. I'll tell you that much. Oh, okay. I was almost there. I almost got through there. All right. Anyway, look at all the colors. That's just great. And actually, it's pretty impressive. I mean, this is a 1 megahertz game, and it's doing a lot. It's moving a lot of pixels around here. Sort of, right? They're taking the usual optimizations, making it look like stuff's moving without actually having to move pixels. Um, but there's a fair bit of sophisticated stuff going on here. And I will have to check this out at more length. All right. Whoa. What in the heck? Okay. Well, here's another thing I added. In case the emulator ever goes awry, you can just hit the close button and it bops you back to the menu. So that's handy rather than having to restart the program. All right, so let's do. Well, I guess I'm going to have to restart the program. Chai Chihuahua. All right. I don't know what was going on there. All right. I did mention this is a work in progress. Okay. Someone spent some time on this image, and it looks really nice, actually. I think we all, when we saw Star Wars for the first time, were like, I want a chess game that has, characters moving around and killing each other. And that's basically what battle chess is. There's a lot of color. It's very detailed. Couldn't have done this with high res. Let's see. How to lose to computer chess in 3 moves. Sure does want to hit the disk drive a lot, though. That's on the annoying side. Feel like they probably could have included a few different animations, more animations in memory, especially given this is a 128K game. Though with double high res, it takes a lot of memory right off the bat just to do the display. Okay, cool. So we've got that. I had notes. Where's my notes? There's my notes. That's it. That's what I wanted to show. So this is what I've been up to. Now I've got I mentioned a contributor. He's doing some amazing work, and I'll be starting to bring some of that code in. And I don't want to spoil the surprise, but it's going to be it's going to be a big deal. It's going to be some pretty amazing stuff. So until next time, thanks for stopping by.